So yeah, when you're playing Mario, like they make the hat somewhat, and I died. That's hi. Yeah, so hi, welcome to Inventory Full. We're going to be talking about a lot of the games that we've been playing that were some of the biggest of the season, as well as some of Sony's announcements from Paris Game Week. Don't you go anywhere.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies.
Hey everybody, welcome to Inventory Full.
Yeah, just had
All right, change to my sword on my back, and we're heading. Man, dude, this cue, hearing it for the very first time is just, was just one of the,
I know.
And then looking like, who's still alive?
Yeah.
Who's alive?
Yeah.
Oh, bitchy, you're alive!
And you're here, and you're here.
And you're here, and you're there. Merry Christmas, movie house! Welcome to the show. I'm one of your hosts, Mark Bianca. I'm dressed as Rocket Ralph. If you're listening to us on iTunes, go find us on Twitch at Inventory Full. That's our channel. Hey, look, it's Nate.
What's up, nerds? Nate Miller here. You can find me on all social media at DogLikeNate.
And Stacey Shuttleworth.
Hey guys, it's Stacey Shuttleworth. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch at Stacey Shuttles.
Patrick D.
What is up? I'm Patrick. This is her sick-ass gun. Would you look at this? You can find me at Twitter, P to the D's. I know, how good is that?
lights up,
Sorry, iTunes listeners.
We're
Find
gonna
us on
watch them
Twitch.
try
You
to
can
light it
see
up.
the.
Oh, we got it. I'm
I know,
so
how good is
proud.
this? And the Gangsta Diva.
You nailed it.
I know, I know.
Why am I wearing
I know,
this?
I know.
You clearly are
I
the
miss
one
my
meant to be
Hollywood
in
life.
this.
Yeah.
Dude,
Damn.
whatever, just because a female character, it's not a big deal.
True story.
Well, welcome in, everybody. We're going to be talking about games and gamer culture. I actually am playing Mario.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
Odyssey right now.
The whole
I don't
time.
doubt it.
And I'm going to try to be as spoiler-free.
Could you just yell moon every time you get one?
It's the moon!
Do you really want to subject us to that?
I
You
do.
are starting this.
I do.
It's your fault.
I take responsibility.
That's physically impossible.
But it's because there's less gravity.
The moon.
It's the moon! All right.
Mark,
yes,
can we
sir.
start with
Yeah.
Mario?
Start with Mario?
Yeah, let's
I
start
think
with
we
Mario.
have to.
How long have you been playing it? I just want to pepper you with questions. How far in are you?
I got the Mario Switch Friday morning.
Okay.
And I've been on and off. I've been on standby mode the entire time. I played a little bit on TV,
Yep.
a little bit in controller mode, a little bit in Joy-Con
All right.
mode, but mostly in the regular ass Joy-Cons attached to it. Whoop, and I just broke off the
He has
kickstand.
sabotaged himself.
What an error. And all of the things are going
That's
wrong.
a secret moon.
It's a moon! Anyway, but I played it for most, if not all, of the weekend.
Okay.
And I beat the main story, and now
All
I'm
right.
just getting all of the other. I'm going to 100% the moons to see what happens, because the last Mario game, or at least Odyssey, one of my favorite things is you collect all the stars, and then you could play the whole game as Luigi.
Yeah.
So, and it offered a little bit of a different gaming perspective.
Sure.
So I'm hoping that something similar happens. But in terms of story, I really liked how they flipped it up. It's centered around this shotgun wedding that Bowser has Peach up to.
Okay.
And you go from kingdom to kingdom because there are things in that kingdom that there's like the best bouquet of flowers, the best cake, the best food, the best this.
To bring to the wedding.
That Bowser is getting for the
Got
wedding
it.
because spare no expense. This is for my lady,
Miss Peach.
Princess Peach.
Yeah.
And it leads up to this big crescendo boss battle, and the various times when you control the most alarming thing is that you can possess people now and villains and enemies, essentially anybody, by throwing your new friend Cappy at them.
Uh-huh.
The first time it happens, it's disturbing.
Sure.
Because
The
you
second
see
time, it's hilarious.
Well, no, because the first time you see Mario's soul go into a frog, which
right.
is the very first thing, and then wake up as the frog and go, "Ah, I'm a frog!" But
Yeah.
every time else, it's like, no, this is cool.
Nice.
So
Nate has questions.
yeah, I'd like to get some explanations.
Go
here.
ahead.
So the cap is the source of the soul transference, right?
Yes.
So the cap is not him.
The cap is not him, but it seems that the cap has taken a piece of Mario's soul in order to become like Mario's hat.
So the hat is a Horcrux?
Well,
Kind of.
Is the cap a wedding guest?
so what happens when so how does he get back to his regular body? The frog just like shakes it off and then his soul
It's
floats
a
back
button
out
press.
and-
It's a button press, but essentially
Right.
hat pops off and Mario goes with it.
Where does his body come from?
I don't know.
No, who knows?
Oh,
The magic of
all right.
Mario.
Like Mario
Can't-
never goes too deep.
Okay.
But there are some moments in this game. It looks gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful. And people were weirded out when they first saw New Donk City.
That's where I was going.
And
Yes.
saw
I need
real
to
size
talk-
humans.
Can you unwrap that mystery for me?
They're
I'm
okay,
on the edge of my seat.
So New Donk City is essentially the sequel to the original Donkey Kong game. So
Okay.
all of the girders from the original Donkey Kong game were building this city. And the theme, like the theme that we hear that Pauline sings, who is now mayor of the city, of
course.
has the doot 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 doot.
Beautiful.
And I didn't hear it until I was in the game, but it's yeah. So that all of the girders and stuff from that became New Donk City, which has references to Donkey Kong Country all around it.
Cool.
And the final mission, essentially the final story mission, is this festival. Like, now that Bowser has been removed from the city, deal with it. And as he's been removed from the city, you find a band and you restore power so that you can run this festival. And so the festival is all soundtracked by the song that we hear in the trailer, the Jump Up Superstar, which you can now get on iTunes. But while that's going on, in order to get up there, you play through all of these 2D Mario levels that are Donkey Kong inspired, leading up to you beating the original Donkey Kong, and then going up on stage and like kind of like dancing with Pauline for the end of it. And it's one of my favorite parts of the entire
pretty
game.
badass.
And if they built an entire game around doing stuff to jaunty poppy tunes, but it's Mario, all about it.
Oh, so is Mario people, or are the people in New Donk City people?
I think, well,
I just am so
I
confused.
don't
just
know.
broken the world.
It just I saw the
broken.
trailer and I was very upset about it. It was very disconcerting.
It was.
Awesome, but
don't-
disconcerting.
I don't know.
Is he a little alien? I don't know. I just want to know.
Well,
and
no,
you've beaten it.
Well, it seems like it's just people from various kingdoms followed very different evolutionary tracks.
Perfect.
Because there's a kingdom that's all about food, and they're like fork people.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but
How do I
that's
become part of that kingdom?
Yeah.
get
Your
about
costume
2/3
next year.
Yeah,
Right?
you're just a fork person.
Yeah.
Done.
But yeah, all of the
mean,
various kingdoms have charming denizens, and you can possess them for various reasons that are a lot. They're really silly,
Yeah.
really fun. But being able to play as like tertiary Mario villains is really fun. Like
Cool.
Goombas, you can keep jumping and make stacks of like 10 or 20.
Great.
And find female Goombas around. And they're like, oh my god, I'm in love with you, and they give you moons. It's really weird and really bizarre, but
Perfect.
you can tell it's a female Goomba because it's got a hat and makeup.
As
Come
they do,
on,
of course.
Mario.
As they would. Come on, Morrow. But I will say, the final boss, or the second to last area had my jaw on the floor. And if you don't care,
Really?
yeah.
All right.
So you're flying about.
Spoilers.
Here,
if
yeah,
anybody,
here we
if anybody
go.
does care, now
No,
this
and I'm
is your
certain
warning.
people will.
La,
You're
la,
like,
la,
how
la,
long
la,
are you
la,
gonna
la,
take?
la.
Here's what happens.
I don't care.
I'll do this if you're watching. I'll do like a wrap up thing, that'll be it. But so you're on your way to Bowser's castle, and as you're flying, you hear this roar, and it's not Bowser, it's Bowser riding a giant.
Spoiler alert!
Thank you. A giant, fully rendered dragon. Like a European style dragon that's fully
All right.
scaled and like Mario is like 1/100th of the size of its head, and you land in this this ruined castle kingdom for this boss fight against this dragon, and it was just like, what the? This is a Mario game. It's not like cartoony fun like tiny wings like I'm a dragon. Like,
Right.
No, it's a full on badass dragon that you
Awesome.
have to kill. Because you're Mario, the Dragon Slayer.
Obviously.
Can't he just?
What's been missing from
Put
the
his-
series the
That
entire
is
time?
what it
I
needed.
totally agree.
Can't he just possess
Back
the
on
dragon?
board.
No, you can't. Because
Everybody
it's
knows.
wearing a giant helmet where you would possess it, and the part of the boss fight is you have to remove
Well-
the things that are holding it down.
Just thinking.
So you're telling me that this is a giant, very realistically rendered
But
dragon
it's wearing
with a helmet?
yes, but not like a football
No,
helmet.
like a special person.
No, like a-
helmet.
like
Like
Yeah.
a bicycle
No, no, no,
helmet?
like
I mean,
a-
like, what?
like
What are we
the-
talking here?
fucking say it. Like a samurai helmet, which is like, that's weird until you land in Bowser's
Every
castle.
time
Okay.
you describe that, you add another descriptor. It just
know.
gets like
Well,
better and better.
Yeah, but it's crazy. But it's like, this is a Mario game. So it's like, that's weird. Why is he wearing a traditional Japanese like samurai helmet? Because when you land in Bowser's castle, this is another one. It's a traditional giant Japanese style castle.
Okay.
And it's got badass music. It's got like god statues of Bowser in
can't
giant
handle
things
this.
of gold. It's so fucking cool.
Nice.
And then you go to the moon. Sorry?
It sounds like Princess Peach should probably take Bowser up on his altar. Then that is the
Is
kind
she
of place
pushing
you
back?
wanna
Is
live,
this
right? Like-
consensual?
All right.
I don't even know.
Now, if you don't care about the ending of the
I
game,
don't.
I'll totally tell you.
I don't. But I'm sure viewers might. I feel like I'll take this off
My
mic.
favorite is my favorite Mario ending because of Peach. So you beat Bowser in the boss fight, and then the moon starts to crumble. Bowser's passed out. How are we gonna get out of here? Wait a minute. Throw your hat onto Bowser, possess Bowser, throw Peach on your back, and now you're this all-powerful fucking guy, and you're tearing your way through the moon, and as you go to the last area, pop music starts to hit, and it's really fucking cool. It's so cool. You escape the moon, but as you do, Bowser wakes up, and Mario's he's dressed in like wedding regalia for a reason, but goes to hand Peach flowers, caught up by Bowser, who goes to give her flowers, and they're both like shoving flowers in her face, and to where Peach goes, no, and walks off and gets on the ship and starts leaving while Mario's like consoling Bowser for some reason.
Good.
But she's like, yeah, fuck both of y'all, I'm out.
Good.
And Mario
Beautiful.
just barely makes it back onto the ship,
Amazing.
and Bowser's stranded on the moon. It's
Why
That sounds-
didn't Bowser have a samurai helmet? So
we're past that.
It's such
We're past that.
It's such a fever dream.
We're
Like,
past
I
that.
feel like I just went
Yo,
on a
Bowser,
journey.
Bowser
That
got
was
his hair
wide.
did. He had like it,
All right.
it put to the side. He looked real
The
good.
Silver Lake haircut.
Yeah.
All right.
It was.
Oh, boy.
This is such a fun game, and
All
I
right.
love it, and I'm excited to 100% it.
How long did the main playthrough take you?
Depends. I got lost. I say got lost, but I just wanted to find as many moons as possible,
Yeah.
so I didn't just streamline.
Sure.
But 6 to 8 hours,
Okay,
maybe.
cool.
But I mean, that's a fraction. Like you needed maybe 120, 130 moons to get to the final area.
Oh, cool.
But maybe a little bit more. I don't know. Just because you get like there are easy ways to get them. There are skill ways to do it. So if like a this is E10. So if like a 10 or a 12-year-old or whatever, or an early gamer can pick this up and go, oh, there's a moon. Cool, you got it, and
Yep.
you can beat the game with that. Or if you're an older gamer, if you're a Mario Classic player, there are classic challenges and speed challenges and all sorts of stuff where you throw Cappy away and you just have to use your Mario skill to get to where you need to go. And those are fun and frustrating, and I feel bad when I'm gonna have to go back and do all of the ones that I had to quit on. But it's just fun. It's so much fun.
I have one more question,
Yeah.
and I know this is tough because we're not through all of the games this year, but like, where is it ranking right now as far as Game of the Year watch would be? Top 5 for you? Number 1?
Top 5, I don't know about number 1 yet.
Okay.
I really like this experience because I'm trying not to be biased because like Mario Galaxy is one of my favorite games of all
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
And this I would say is tied with it.
I think that's fair.
It's really good. I really enjoy it, but there's so much more out there to play. I would definitely say top 5. I don't know. I mean, I bought the flippin' Mario system and broke it already for this.
which you at home saw.
Yeah. Let me see. Can I fix it? I mean, either.
Nope.
I'm sure.
But also, that was the hardest thing. I try not to break things generally, just because I'm a large person. But that's where the
Which is
memory card thing is, because like I don't want to pop, and then it happened.
I also love that you chose Wreck-It Ralph, as you say. I try not to break things.
I wrecked it.
Right.
Anyway,
Pretty great.
so yeah, if anybody else wants to know more about Mario Odyssey, find me on Twitter. Let me know.
Holy
Also,
shit.
it's really fun. You can take screenshots, and actually it says, "Hey, take a screenshot for a hint for a moon in another world."
Pretty exciting.
And you can go into paintings like Super Mario 64.
Nice.
And through those paintings, you can find old Power Stars, and it plays the Mario 64 Star
Great.
Get music. It's really cool. There's a lot of cool retro stuff in there, and a lot of really cool modern stuff in there. But if you've played any Mario from 64 to Galaxy 2, so that's Sunshine Galaxy, Galaxy 2,
Mm-hmm.
you'll pick this up like nothing.
Your enthusiasm's so contagious. I can't speak for you two, but like I there's this weird like disconnect where I see amazing reviews and go, okay, fine, like that game's maybe not for me, but I love that it's like I love that it exists in this ecosystem and that Mario's awesome. Watching you light up about it, I go, all right, I can
this
kind of
is
get
a
a Switch,
system song.
right? Like,
It's
I mean,
super nice.
it looks nice. It looks very polished. It sounds very polished. Like they put a lot of thought and work into it. I'm
I mean,
happy
well,
for
let me
you,
put the
but
kickstand back on.
happy
You can
for
take
you.
it.
I'm sorry.
the
Like
first you
watching
take it for
him
a test
play,
drive.
it's like maybe I just need to play
Yeah.
it for a few
the
minutes.
first hit's
and
free,
maybe
right?
That's
Like,
why
I feel like
I don't know. I've just never been. I don't know. I was on the platformer thing for a little while, and then I moved more towards the action adventure platformer,
Sure.
and then I just play RPGs.
It's so
Yeah.
streamlined.
It's like a yeah.
But I'm with you. I moved on. I don't think like Nintendo right now is making games for me or games that speak to me.
Right.
But like that's what I'm saying. Like I was like, hey, I'm always rooting for them to be successful. And but it wasn't until I actually could look in Mark's eyes and go, no, this is something special. That I'm like, all right, like, you know what I mean? Like I'm
like
with you. I've
anime
kind of moved
twinkle
on.
in my
Yes,
eyes.
It's
yes.
pretty spectacular too to
Do
think
the-
that for some young kid this is their first Mario game. you
Yeah.
know, and this is what they get.
But it's also there are sections where you go into pipes and you pop up as 2D Mario doing side scroller
Right.
stuff.
I've seen
different.
it. It looks
And-
so good.
And so it gives them a little bit of that. Well, how do I do that? What
Yep.
do I, then that can grandfather them into when they do their what do they call it? Virtual console stuff. And they're oh, I've played that already, and then they'll play all of the old school Mario stuff.
Right.
Not a bad idea.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
So cool.
Let's move on because
right.
we got a lot of stuff to talk
we
about.
sure as
Um,
shit do.
You know what?
Jeez.
We've been holding on to it for
Okay.
a long time.
I know we have.
Nate, Destiny 2.
How's Destiny?
It's fucking great.
It's so good.
Right?
It's good.
I know.
It's really good. It's I love it. I love it. I love it. I don't know.
So I was asking off Mike. I know I'm like Captain. Like I have so many questions for you guys. But like, so what is the like? I've always played on console. It's that chunky 30 frames a second, that snap to aiming.
Keep
Do you know
saying
what I mean?
chunky.
It is. It's chunky, and I feel like there's this heavy aim assist. It just I play that game with hand cannons, right? It's that snap to assist headshot. How is that with a mouse and keyboard? Does it feel like Destiny, or is it?
I mean, I was so, especially being a big Halo guy for a long time, like I'm so attached to my controller
Yeah.
for that type of game. So even when I first picked it up, I played probably like 4 or 5 hours. I was using my controller.
You were.
Yeah, because I didn't want to deal with all the key bindings and mess
Sure.
with that. And I like, especially a really nice tight polished shooter.
Yeah, no
I
doubt.
like the vibration, the haptic feedback, that there's the different guns react in different ways and things of that nature. But eventually I switched over to mouse and keyboard, and it's just like it just feels so good. It feels so good.
What's your favorite type of gun to use?
I mean, I'm a hand cannon guy by heart.
Me too.
I think they're a lot better on PC than they are on console right now.
They literally are.
But,
just PC Master Race. Be like, I don't know. Every gun's better on PC, so
Yeah.
I like them all.
But auto
That's the
rifles
meta.
are disgusting.
They
Yes,
are.
they are.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Auto rifles are disgusting. The problem is with like I scout rifle is probably my preferred weapon, but I don't. Mida is obviously the strongest. It's
Yeah.
not the one I would choose to use though.
I'm rocking
either.
both.
I don't have
I'm
fun
rocking both of them in the multi tools, man.
The mini tool.
I got them, but together
tool's
you're
pretty
fucking
good.
a machine.
Yeah, except the mini tool is trash. There's so
I don't
many
like it.
better submachine like.
I disagree.
Yeah. I
that's
want
why
it to
I
be
have
good.
I literally
I want
just-
it to be so good. I really do. I've been
Yeah.
running it for so long, but every time I run it, I am like, fuck this. I switch it out
Do you really?
for another sub or
Yeah.
even just an auto rifle. And
Really?
I run Mida and I run like Sandwasp. And
Oh,
like,
nice.
anytime I get in close corners, I'm going to shred you.
Yeah.
And then I can get you from close to medium long range. And if you are far enough, then I just 3-tap you with the
And
Mida.
I know you keep saying you. Are you playing a lot of Crucible?
Oh, I'm doing tons of Crucible.
Are you really?
Oh yeah,
Loving it.
I love Crucible. I mean, I've always been a big Crucible guy,
Right.
but it just feels so like I like that they slowed it down. There's a little more skill in engagements.
Yeah.
You can pick and choose your fights. When you have someone pressed, there's like it's slower. But it's still a little more offensive because of the cooldowns being longer and your shields taking longer. Now, when you rush someone, you do some damage to someone, you take their shield down, they go mine cover. You have a considerable amount of time that you can rush them to finish it off.
Yeah.
If you haven't taken the damage yourself. So it actually allows for some offensive play if you're playing smart. But the only thing is, I kind of miss 6v6 because in the 4v4s, especially if I'm playing solo or if I'm playing 3 and we get a random, like because it's for the tight teamwork. If one team is playing together and the other team just has one person running around randomly,
Yeah.
you're gonna
Yeah, like
have a
I
bad
try to do
time.
my best to follow that one person, just to try
Just
to
have to,
even
yeah.
2 and 2.
Yeah.
That might work if they know
Right.
what they're doing. But ultimately, like there are times during one of the things that made me turn off Iron Banner, what quote Iron Banner, was
started on that. Yeah.
was that I would get teams that got it. This is Iron Banner. We need to be tight. We need to stay together. Cool. Even with no comms, we would stay together and do and dominate and do well. But anytime where it was a team starting, then it would just fan out. Be like, well, I don't want to play this.
Yeah, no,
anymore.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
don't
immediately.
get it.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is like the competitive playlist. While I like the game modes, is just it's really painful because if somebody leaves, there's no reconnecting. They don't replace anybody, so you just play.
It takes a long time.
Yeah,
It
and it's
took-
round based.
and
It's intended to take a long time because it's competitive.
well, I did. There was one time where I started a round with 3 people, which I was like, this.
Oh,
Sucks.
shit, really? And
And
they backfilled?
about halfway in, we got somebody.
Oh, they got you somebody?
But we ended up taking the round. It was
Oh, nice.
control. So we ended up just like
Great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the best.
yeah.
The exact opposite of what. Like I was ready. Like I don't want to quit, but this sucks. All right, we got somebody. I'll play. Ah, we did
That's
it!
amazing, right? Like the
Yeah.
best
That's a
feeling.
good
Yeah,
feeling.
I love it. The guns feel great, and it's so smooth, dude.
Do you you being the campaign? You told us off mic
Yeah.
a couple of times.
Yeah.
What power level are you? Like where are you in the game?
I'm at like 268,
All right.
270 on my Titan. I'm still. I haven't really started gearing up my Warlock yet. It's gonna be my next one.
Right on.
I'm gonna wait for them to buff Hunter before I bother with that one.
What's your favorite subclass? I'm playing Titan as well.
It's so tough because it was easily Striker before.
yeah,
but,
me too.
I mean, I like Sunbreaker a lot too. I haven't played with it as much in D2
Me neither.
yet. I just played with it a little bit when I first got it, and I've been doing mostly Striker, especially for PvP. But recently, with the new challenge, was one of the Void class.
I think the
challenge
Void class is awesome with the shield.
Yeah, it's been taking me a while to kind of get
Totally.
used to it, but now that
Feels
I've kind of got the hang of it, I
You get that
kinda
upgrade.
like
We
it.
get the double shields and just ping pong them off.
Yeah,
like, hey, dude,
exactly.
That's the best.
Well,
That's so
not
cool.
only
It's
the
so
double
good.
shields, but I got the exotic, the one that has like the void arms,
Yeah,
the arms.
yep.
So that you get double shields,
Totally.
and then you hit one person, and you get both double shields again.
So good.
It's can potentially
It's fun.
useful.
Yeah.
But the first few times I was like,
Yeah. What am I doing
do I
with
block?
this?
Do I throw? What do I
It's like-
do?
it's
And
like a
getting
third
So
murdered.
grade
we're
cat and-
definitely going to have another Destiny special.
Hell yeah, we
please.
are.
And that Destiny special is going to happen after the release of the next expansion, which is Curse of Osiris. Yes.
Hate you.
I hate you too. Let's take a look. They dropped this trailer today.
Today.
Yep.
For Curse of Osiris. Let's take a look at it.
We gonna talk over it?
A little bit.
All right.
Because I mean, the first bit is just like, hey, you remember this?
Yeah.
Also, if you liked the character of Dominus Gall and want to see how much of a silly bitch the voice actor is, head on over to AfterBuzz Animation because we had Neil Kaplan, the voice of Dominus Gall, in for our Voltron
Oh,
show.
sick.
Where he also plays a big space overlord in that show, but he is just the silliest man.
Nice.
And it was great to have him in studio, but also just to hear him at the end plug and say, I am Gall was really...
I bet. I
kind of
bet.
moment.
was really cool. But we're seeing in this some of the heavy lore stuff that is carrying over from Destiny 1 when it comes to one of the most well-known guardians in existence, Osiris. And we're going to Mercury.
And they touch on like robots past and future robots coming in, which is I was like, oh, let's do this.
Well, Vex is
And-
always a.
Yeah, the Vex-
Their whole thing is time travel.
Right, but like the way they leaned into that word, it made me think that we're gonna see different models. I could be
We
wrong.
are.
It looked
No, we
badass.
are. We're going to see future, like, upgraded Vex to the point where I don't see how Guardians would be able to defeat them if it's the future and Vex are like, hey, fuck Guardians.
Right.
But hey, it's a game.
Did you get a sense that like Osiris is a potential villain in this?
We don't know.
That's what I'm saying. They leave it
Because
pretty ambiguous,
He
but,
was
like-
exiled from the Order because he would do anything to stop the darkness.
Right.
That was him. So that's why he was exiled from the Order, and presumably he's been lost in time this entire
Right.
time trying to figure out a way to stop the Vex and stop the darkness. And now with this expansion, it comes to a head in our time.
I think it'd be interesting if you had to put him down. I'm just positing that if he was the boss,
No, dude.
I mean, it'd be awesome.
I can see that happening.
I can see it
And
happening.
you become the new Osiris.
Yeah, I think no, it's not like a title.
I'm like, no.
It's not a title.
No. What? Yeah,
Hey man, these I'm telling you, go to youtube.com. My name is Bife.
Okay.
And watch all of the lore. Especially, he's making one right now about Osiris. But the fucking world of Destiny is nuts. And when we have when everybody's maxed out, everybody does the raid. And hopefully it doesn't happen for you where you slow down on your playing, because I play about once a week now.
No, I mean I fully expect that to happen.
Yeah.
Like and this is the other thing is I'm approaching this again from the WoW, from the MMO
Yep.
place. So I understand content drip. I understand, grinding to a cap, and then every week I do what I need to do to get some upgrades. And if I don't get it, okay, I'm gonna,
Yeah.
I'm content with playing my 3 days of Destiny and getting my raid and my weekly, my nightfalls in, and a couple Crucible here and there, and playing other things also. I don't need it to be my all the time everyday game.
Cool.
It would get. I mean, one it's
Like
it's
it is
just-
for some people.
Yeah, it's just right.
All right, let's move on to some other stuff that is being played. Hey, Stacy.
Hey, Stacy.
Yes,
How's Egypt?
Yes.
Egypt is pretty wonderful.
Tell us about Assassin's Creed Origins.
So first off, let's start off with Bayek, our main character. He's way more capable than Ezio ever was. I will
Oh,
say that. I will say that.
I'm not a biggest Ezio guy either.
I love Ezio.
Oh, okay.
I love him. He is a stumbling fool, and I expected a lot more of that in this game. A little bit less. I have accidentally trampled people while riding a camel a couple of times, and that feels real bad.
Game of the year, Goaty right there.
Right there, that's what
Right
makes
there,
it.
yeah, sold.
That's what makes it.
Yeah.
No, I mean, and so far, I'm really enjoying the mechanics. It feels like an Assassin's Creed game, but it also has a couple of new aspects that are fun to play around with. Especially the eagle vision, the way they're handling that now with Senu, his bird companion. You get to fly around over the desert and look for things, which is really interesting, and it's a good way to be like, well, this is how you see this enormous land. Although it's also very fun to wander around it, which is what I've mostly gotten sidetracked doing.
I was gonna say, like you're like a completionist.
Yes.
How fast did it take you to go? That's a story mission. I'm just gonna go over here for a little.
Immediately.
Oh, is that right?
Immediately.
So yes. So one of the first actual missions is to assassinate someone who is in the temple. Well, I went and ran around the temple just for fun as like a level 2 when you're supposed to be like a level 5. So that was really fun. Mostly I ran away a lot.
Sure.
Wait a second, this is a bad idea.
But that in and of itself is new this year, right? I didn't mean to interrupt, but like there are levels. You are a level 2, and you might not be able to
Yes.
assassinate a level 5. I saw a video where the guy jumped off into the blade thing, which works 100 out of 100 times in every other Assassin's Creed. But the guy was like a higher level, and like he just got up from the secret blade, and I'm like, how is that for you too?
It has been really interesting. It does feel like they are a little more responsive, a little more actually something that you are fighting, like someone that you are legitimately fighting. That's a little more of a challenge, and
Not just a walking meat. bag.
yeah, not just hit, okay, done. Like there is a little more reaction to your moves. They will block a little more actively, and so I was running around in there, and then I ran off into the desert for a while. I crossed a lake, thought I was really far away from where I started.
Okay.
I ended up going in a big circle somehow. I still cannot explain how that happened. I ended up back in the temple where I accidentally finished the mission quest.
Of course.
Without
Person to
meaning
kill.
Game of the year.
Oh, what does this do?
And it launches into this big cutscene about how I had killed one of the priests that was wreaking havoc in the town, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, I did that on purpose. That
Yeah.
was part of the plan.
And
Thanks, everyone.
I had spent like 10 minutes baiting him outside of the temple walls, like into the town, and then like picking off all of the people that were with him, and then like letting them go back towards the temple, and then drawing them back out again until it was just him. And at which point Robbie goes, he's like, that's the main guy that you're supposed to kill right now, right? As he's halfway dead, and I'm like, oh.
Oh no, never
Well,
mind.
then.
You go about your day.
I did it.
So and then I'm steering clear of the city for a while because clearly I accidentally complete mission quests there.
It's the wrong thing to do. Oh shit.
I know. I love how you play open world games.
So-
is it as hot as it looks? Like the game looks stunning. I obviously haven't seen it running in real time.
It is beautiful.
Okay.
It runs really well. It's very smooth. The movements.
What are you playing it on, by the way?
I'm playing it on PS4
Got it.
right now. You know what? the horseback or camelback, whichever mount you happen to have, is really smooth. There's combat on horseback that feels better than any I've played so far. And to be fair, I don't play a ton of mounted combat based games,
Sure.
but that was a lot of fun to play with.
They've been making it better and better as the games go by. So I can only imagine camelback.
I know. I want to ride a
So-
camel.
My question is as if we can answer this and be spoiler free. There's no animus. There's no present time.
Can you answer that while being spoiler free?
I don't think I'm far enough to know for certain.
Okay.
Well,
the fact that
I
it
know,
doesn't
but I'll tell
open
you off
up.
the air, off air, if you want me to.
It does
'Cause
not.
I think it's a
does
super
not
spoiler.
Open up.
Okay.
But I had that
with
ruined
being
for
in
me.
the Animus. Oh no.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand why they would not want to.
Yeah,
but
me too.
It's it's a Assassin's Creed
Yep.
game.
I mean, I will say
It's part of the.
It is. Yeah, I
the,
mean, yes.
the loading scenes still have that very loading Animus
Okay.
feel.
Right.
You're wandering
it's
around
just
in like the
building and running
partially
around.
rendered area.
Perfect.
Yeah, so
Okay.
they have that mechanic in play.
Great.
So I can take a guess at it being incorporated somehow, but
Sure.
no, I do not
Okay.
know for sure yet.
Okay.
Interesting, because this is they're calling it Origins. It seems like it's a new beginning for the franchise. So I figure they would probably, if so, I'm not speaking with any reference or anything because I haven't played the game yet. If they would want to introduce that for this new generation of player that may not have played an Assassin's Creed game, they would want to do it at the jump.
Right,
I
right.
think they would want to be a pretty cool reveal.
So, and I gotta ask this because we're both huge Horizon Zero Dawn fans. Have you played with the bow in this? And if you had to rank the bow, where does it compare to Horizon Zero Dawn?
I do really like the bow in this. The bow in Horizon Zero Dawn, though, is just, I think, so intuitive.
I
and
super
just-
agree. It's the best bow in video
and
games.
it's wonderful. So this bow has been fun to play with.
Okay.
And I've played with a couple of different ones so far.
Like the sniper.
As
There's like a
as I pick 'em up.
shotgun type bow,
There's-
right?
Yeah, so there's a predator bow and then just the regular, what they classify, I guess, more hunting bows.
Okay.
I haven't played with the predator bows yet.
Okay.
I have one that I got through a Twitch Prime gift, actually.
Nice.
But I'm not leveled up enough to
Pay to
use
win.
it yet.
Pay to win. Hashtag pay to win.
And they it's all like gear, like there's like legendary loot and shit this year, right?
Mm-hmm. So
like
there
how
are different
cool is
classes.
this? It's like it's an RPG.
It's an RPG.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. And like Destiny, right? Numbers fly off of people when you do damage.
Yes, so you can see there.
Oh.
Yeah.
I know.
There
I'm like,
are.
yes, I know. Speaking my language, I want to see the numbers go down.
It looks nice. Yeah.
I like RPG
being
gaming.
able to see that damage and what you're doing. It also has with the bow at
He's
least.
like,
I'm
it's like,
sorry.
no.
with
no.
the bow at least, if you're aiming from while you're stealthed, it will kind of give you an idea of how much damage you're going to do,
Oh,
depending
awesome.
on what part of the body you're hitting, which is a pretty cool. I don't know.
So
And,
cool.
and there's something I want to go back to, just for the sake of time. I want to move on to the next game, but I do have another question to ask after we talk about
Yeah.
Wolfenstein 2, The New Order.
Yeah, holy shit. So this
Yeah.
was a tough day for me to, and I know you played a little bit too, but like I was running up against time. I was traveling. Stranger Things 2 came out. Assassin's Creed
going
came
on.
out. I know. And Wolfenstein, and I made the choice to go all in on Wolfenstein because I felt like I could get through that 8, 9, 10, 12 hours and move on. And holy shit, that game goes some places. Jesus Christ.
Straight out the gate.
I mean, it starts. Did you guys play? Did you finish the first one?
I did not finish the first one.
Nate? Okay, so I won't wreck how that game ends. It picks up literally 60 seconds after that game ends. So, spoilers, BJ Blazkowicz doesn't die. Surprise!
I think they made that pretty
My
clear.
immersion.
It was in the trailer. They showed it with the game trailer.
I
They-
totally
they
know,
learned
but I'm
that.
saying that you end that first one, they kind of insinuate that BJ's dead as fuck. Like, he's Soup's dead, and you're like, great, like, slow clap. And I think few games stick a landing like the end of the first one did here, and it was very trepidatious about how they picked this up. They pick up right after that, and as I'm just gonna say, I don't think this is a spoiler. I'm gonna say the very first part where the flashbacks is
That was.
I'll just say this. So
something
like
else.
you haven't even played any gameplay yet. As the game boots, it's showing you BJ flashing back, like going back, and like he's remembering parts of the first game, right? I think it's a way to like catch the viewer up as to what happened. It also does this really thing that's fucking fascinating narratively, right? So it flashes back to BJ's childhood, right? And his piece of shit father walks in the room, and I mean this like in every sense of the word. I'm getting chills just seeing this. It's not playable in the sense that like you can interact much, but you quiver behind your mother because he's an abusive, racist misogynistic asshole. He drops the N-bomb 2 or 3 times. He's a failed middle class dude. He's running his business into the ground, and it's very much, and I'm going to say this because I feel like so much of this is written around this political climate, especially Pete Hines saying fuck Nazis. It's this middle America Donald Trump voter, right? Like, it's everybody else's fault. Like, his job has been replaced by every other minority. Like, he takes shots at Jews, literally every epithet possible, like, and hits your mother. And it's so, again, I'm 5 hours into this game, and I desperately hope they pay this off, because what this sets up is this BJ's manic desire to kill Nazis, right? It's all kill Nazis, kill Nazis, kill Nazis in the first game. And what I think the insight in what they're setting up here is BJ is also fuck you dad. Right? This is this manic rage behind I'm going to be anything but not like my father. This piece of shit who hits my mother, who happens to be Jewish, which they finally answered the question. BJ Blazkowicz is a Jew. And it goes some places, and it goes, I won't wreck what's next, is 10 minutes later. There's arguably one of the darkest scenes in video games. It is just fucked from the beginning, but it is unparalleled in its world building. You hate the antagonist right the fuck away. And like, I know I'm using a lot of F-bombs to describe this, but like, it has you invest in this world in a way that, like, I thought the first one was like an amazing example of a campaign and a narrative campaign. One of the best, I think, shooter campaigns of all time. And I think this, if anything, is written better. And holy Christ, BJ Blazkowicz is now a character, like, I can genuinely invest in. I don't want to speak for Stacey, but like, up there with like Joel and Ellie from Last of Us, which I don't mean to use that to segue because we've got other things to talk about, but like, this game starts incredibly strongly. It's also, I'll say this and we can go, music by the guy who did Doom, right?
Oh, okay.
So that fucking metal, it's awesome. You're killing Nazis. And it is in id Tech 6, so it's also the Doom engine, so they've upgraded. I think the last one looked a little bit dated, whereas this is like state of the art. Like, this game looks and feels real good.
I know I'll ask this to Stacey. You have both of these games. You've got Wolfenstein and Assassin's Creed. What is the thing that is it? You're playing one and you want to play the other, or is it?
Oh, that's a good
is
question.
there one that's sticking in your craw?
I mean, I think they're very different as far as how they play.
Definitely.
So it
Yeah.
it does really depend on my mood at the moment. It's either I want to go run around in an open world and not really have this intense emotional connection. Even though Assassin's Creed is doing very well to build that relationship with the characters, but Wolfenstein is you are there, you're strapped in. This is intense.
It's high stakes, big
fighting
zone.
Go.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
Well, and the first one was really like, and I'll just say this and we can move on. The first one was very much resistance for resistance sake. Like, it was a losing cause, and the reason you were fighting back is you can look yourself in the mirror and say, like, at least I didn't just stand by and let this happen. And there's this desperateness at the beginning of this as well, where they're trying to, like, this all takes place in America, which is so relevant right now, and it's BJ and this group's quest to go ignite the resistance in America so they can be a beacon to the rest of the world. And it is just the collectibles right away, you can tell, were rewritten in the last like 3 months based on things that have happened in the United States, in Charlottesville. Like, you read the collectibles and go, holy shit, they've rewritten some of this to be topical, and I can't recommend it enough. Like I said, I just got to America.
Speaking of topical,
Yes, let's do it.
Let's roll the Far Cry 5
Yes.
co-op trailer while we talk over it.
Great.
God, this looks fun.
So today was it started Paris Games Week, and Sony had their comments. You can go ahead and play it, and we're going to talk over it. And they showed this co-op trailer for Far Cry 5,
which didn't surprise anybody, right? Like, I feel like at E3 everyone's like, we're gonna be playing this co-op, right? And they're like, maybe.
Where did you hear that? Come
totally.
on.
You'll be able to play every single mission
Great.
co-op, and I wonder how the LFG or the joining game, if it's as easy as, hey, we're both playing, click, you're in.
Oh, I don't know.
Or how long it's gonna be.
Did you play the other ones co-op?
No.
So you had to do your own matchmaking. So as long as you and it instanced it, right? So whoever was the single player that invited, it was their instance of their campaign, and you could do every mission, but your progress didn't track. You were just there to assist.
Yeah, but but I wonder if that's going to carry over too. You'll be able to play every mission, but what if you're 3 missions ahead of me?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, will you
but
have
you
to
know-
play my missions
But
to
I
catch
feel,
up?
I don't think so, because
do it
my
like Wildlands.
yeah, I was gonna say, I think it's probably like Wildlands, right? Like, your progress just goes ticking off, and you can play the missions in any
redo
order,
them if you want
which
to,
is
yeah.
awesome because you don't have to worry about people like power leveling or like. I mean, I talked a lot about Wildlands in this, but like you can jump in, jump out. Who gives a shit? Like whenever. So I'm very
Wildlands
excited about this.
Game of the year.
Maybe.
But
Most time so far.
One of my favorite things about Ubisoft is they learn from each other's projects.
100%.
Like Watch Dogs learns from Assassin's Creed
Yeah.
and vice versa.
Yeah.
And it looks like this. And Far Cry and Wildlands, or at least in Ghost Recon, have learned back and forth. But that it looks like fun. It's coming out at seemingly a more bloated time of year now.
February.
But
Yes.
but there's some other stuff that we need to
know.
rush through.
Yes, we do.
If you want to talk about heavy, let's take a trip to Detroit.
God,
Oh
Jesus
boy.
Christ.
Jesus Christ!
Jesus.
I have been waiting for this.
Have you not
game
seen this?
for so
No,
long.
the-
no,
oh.
no, I'm just saying I've been waiting for the game.
You big David Cage fan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this goes back to the Kara demo.
I know.
Like this is Kara finally
PS
going home. She just got
PS3?
reloaded, and seemingly having flashbacks. But the whole trailer takes place at this house with this douchebag of a and I say owner.
No.
But it's I was retching this entire trailer.
It was so good. This is like the future of games.
I don't know. Look, I'll say this. I really like David Cage. I think he's good for the industry. I think he's ambitious as hell. I don't know that he's got the storytelling chops to pull this off. It is a delicate balance. At the end of this trailer, we can fast forward here, but he beats a child to death, which is a dark, dark end to this trailer. And I don't know that he can deftly handle this type of storytelling. I'm on the fence. I hope that this ends up being good.
Well, I'm just happy that they don't look like robots like they did in Heavy Rain.
I agree.
Like
Yeah,
the dialogue was
yeah.
weird and very European.
Stilted. Yeah, totally.
But coming out as
Origami
American.
killer.
Well, hopefully it actually looks this good.
So
Right.
we all picked a trailer from their announcements today. Nate, why did you pick Detroit?
I've just ever since I heard about the premise, and like I said, I'm a big Cage fan. Yeah, it just I like games with stories, good stories, and it looks good. I like the premise, the whole AI walking the line of consciousness and humanity and things of that nature.
I like the story. I'm interested in the storytelling. I will sit next to you and watch you play this game and be like an angel or devil on your shoulder. This is another one of those games where I cannot make those
It's high
decisions.
stakes bingo, man.
This is
It
too stressful for me.
It is. Oh.
I love it. I love those because that's and like, and from a gameplay perspective, no, it's not. It doesn't have a lot of depth, but the ramifications, having actual choices that you make mean something.
I agree.
That's fun.
Me
to
too.
Especially if a story you actually care about, because then you feel involved and
Totally.
you get attached.
Yeah.
See, now in Mario
That's why I
Odyssey,
like those,
you pick which level you go to.
Oh, you do? Okay.
You can pick
okay.
one or the other.
6 of 1.
And
So
then
what
it's
you're
like,
saying
hey,
is,
it's,
I have to make you
Very
play the
heavily
Telltale
Yeah.
games, the Walking Dead games.
oh no, I've played season 1.
Yes,
Oh,
season
you-
1's so
oh,
good.
season-
I wept at the end of that game.
Wait, season
Yeah.
2?
Stacy, a little bit of a surprise, no surprise. Final Fantasy Episode Ignis.
I know.
This
This
looks
was
awesome.
something else. This trailer, whew, I mean,
I like how you go back to when they first meet and make the pact.
so
Yeah.
episode Gladio was basically a huge disappointment. It was very empty, very shallow.
Right.
You beat things up and that was that. Episode Prompto was a pretty amazing story. It actually had relevance to the game. It was enriching. You got to know the characters. It was emotional. You were invested. I didn't think they could get much deeper than that, and then this trailer drops.
That looks
and
great.
just unbelievable. Both the gameplay mechanics. I
Look
mean,
at this scene specifically.
This is
like,
nuts.
yeah, it's insane. And
What is this?
Final Fantasy
Fantasy.
15.
Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
This is the same game that did the Assassin's
Yeah,
Creed.
I will say this trailer has no qualms about spoiling the
Oh, no.
entire
Oh,
end
I know.
of the game.
No, it does not.
Just
just doesn't care.
Straight up
I super
destroys
agree.
the ending.
I don't know enough
yeah, I
to
have no
realize
framing.
that
Yeah,
I've
no,
seen
you're good.
spoilers.
I mean, just absolutely decimates it.
Nope.
It's like, I mean, and first, I'm real excited that you get to play with Ravis.
Yeah, me
but
too, me too.
Huge spoiler.
Yeah, yep, totally.
it looks good. It
they
looks
date
good.
this December, right?
December.
Yeah.
December
Sweet.
13. 3 something.
I can't wait to hear you talk
3.
about it.
I know. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to this story, and I'm actually really looking forward to the fighting itself, like to the actual gameplay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
as
combat
well.
looked good.
Because I was really nervous about gunplay with episode Prompto, especially with Final Fantasy. It wasn't really their strong suit, but it was all right.
Cool. And just for the sake of time, let's move on to the last trailer. Holy crap! Ghost of Tsushima So this trailer started
Yes.
the conference.
Yep.
And it looked and it looks amazing.
Sucker
Yeah, it
Punch.
That's what settled
I
it for
know.
me. I was like, oh, it's probably maybe a PSVR
Yeah,
game,
yeah.
Whatever. They're just trying to get some first-party
Onimusha
stuff.
2 or some nonsense. I know, I'm
was
like, oh, whatever.
Cool, they're bringing back the Onimusha franchise.
Nope.
And then once Sucker Punch hit, I went, all right, I'm in 100%.
Dude, and did you see the dev diary that they put out about this?
I saw it, I didn't watch it.
Oh, so whatever. One thing you said in it that I think you'll love. He's talked about the game is like all about it's exploration heavy, and there's going to be no real HUD. What they want to create environments that visually go, I need to go over there because there's no HUD. It's like ancient Japan. Like, why would you have a HUD? Like, makes no sense. So you'll go to points of interest because they look interesting.
Well, I mean, it's feudal
Look at this.
Japan.
Perfect.
Yeah, this
Oh.
it's Assassin's Creed in Japan. They beat Ubisoft to it.
Dude, it's badass.
And the only thing that it needs is the Nujabes to do the soundtrack. So it'd be like Samurai Champloo. Anyway.
Yeah, I didn't see this.
You didn't see this?
Oh, it looks so
You've got to
nice.
hear
Dude,
it. After the
you
show,
do.
we'll play
You
it
do.
for
It
you.
is.
I am
And
all
that
about.
facial capture is incredible, and he's
So
shit
nice.
talking in an amazing
Yeah, this is-
way.
oh, yeah.
I know, it's dark.
We're
I've
not
been
even at
learning
the-
your people. Oh.
Yeah, so this game looks super awesome. And I mean, Story of Revenge, great way to go.
Yeah, right there. Look at that. It's
Yeah.
so good.
Flip a dip.
Dude, it's so good. When he's looking at he means that shit.
I'm gonna kill you
Oh!
so much. I'm gonna kill you
That is
so
a-
hard.
oh.
Yeah, dude. That
nice.
there are so many other games. Guacamelee 2. I love Guacamelee. So getting Guacamelee 2
Yeah.
is gonna be super exciting. A new indie game, Ore, which released today.
Yep.
Yeah, it
which I'm
did.
super excited about. You get to be a Chinese dragon taking down Colossi, essentially. Concrete Genie, which looks like somebody took
Oh, that's
Epic
cool.
Mickey and made it a good game.
Yeah, it looked
Beautiful.
cool.
Yeah.
Looks really cool.
Fun.
Monster Hunter World, we're getting a beta, a PlayStation exclusive beta in the beginning of December, and PlayStation users will be able to play as Aloy.
I know. Just I know. I
pretty
also flipping
freaking
shit.
cool.
I'm like,
Excited about that.
wasn't in. You mentioned
Cute
Aloy.
little-
I'm on board.
cute
Yeah,
little
totally.
picture too.
Yes.
Oh boy.
And then like the little assistant characters that they have, you get one that looks like one of the Robeasts, just for
Adorable.
lack of a better word.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Adorable.
they announced so much. It's just the beginning of Paris Games Week, and we're going to be probably talking about the rest of it next week on Inventory Full. But until then, where can everybody find you? What are you going to be playing? Will you be streaming it, etc.? Let's start with Patrick.
I'm not streaming anything. I'm going to be finishing Wolfenstein, and I'm kind of chipping away at Shadow of Mordor. I got some friends. I've got a nemesis at this point. Like, fuck that guy. But I think I'm going to try and main through Wolfenstein. So you find me at Peter the D's. Tweet at me if you're playing Wolfenstein. Let me know what you thought about that opening scene. I'm really interested to hear what other people thought because it's heavy. Stacy.
That is true. I'm Stacey Shuttles. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram at Stacey Shuttles. I'll be streaming probably more Overwatch. We're gonna throw a little Halloween party and stream it
Nice.
while we play
Cool.
later on. I'm gonna keep playing Assassin's Creed, and I'll keep streaming that as well. I'd like to stream the whole story if I can, and then I'm gonna keep going with Wolfenstein 2 as much as I can because boy, that game.
Yep.
Hey guys, it's Nate Miller here. You can
Hey, Nate.
find me on social media.
Hey, Nate.
At Dog Like Nate. That just got way smoother.
No, so wait, it's NPR.
Yeah.
dude.
You are now listening. You can find me on Destiny 2 because that's what I'll be playing. I am Angel 17404, and I'll carry you in some Crucible matches.
Very nice.
Wow.
Thank you. I want to get that on PC soon. But yeah, my name is Mark Donica. You can find me on Twitter at MarkDonica. Don't forget to head over to Into the AM. It's a clothing store where you can help support the show. At checkout, just use inventory 10. You get 10% off. And that helps us out on the back end too. So that's Into the AM. They've got really cool stuff. Check them out. I'm going to be playing more Mario. I'm going to try to 100% it. I'm trying to ask various friends to borrow Breath of the Wild. But I'm going to see if I can start a second game file. And maybe start streaming that because I just couldn't put it down. But yeah.
You're going to be playing the game where you repair your Switch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, no, I already did.
All right, look
yeah,
at that.
I fixed it.
Look at that.
It's
just
it's
gotta
not
wait.
that
Yeah.
much of a piece of garbage.
Okay.
And maybe some Overwatch, and I want to finish Horizon, but Mario.
I know.
But thank you so much for watching this episode of Inventory Full. Make sure to follow us here on Twitch, on Twitter at Inventory Full PT, and thanks again to the Popcorn Talk Network. You can follow them at the Popcorn Talk. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.
Later.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.